Hi guys, my name is Maria Frausto,
My name is Viviana Valerio.
And my name is Michelle Mancia.
and our topic is professional learning community. So what is professional learning community? It focuses on learning rather than teaching. We work by collaboration and you hold yourself accountable for the results while the teachers do. And then they make sure students actually learn what they are being taught. And there are three main ideas to this topic. So the big idea number one is ensuring that students learn. So they ensure that students are not only taught, but they actually learn the topic. And it's learning for all, should be taken literally by teachers. And staff should communicate with each other on common ground. Three questions to keep in mind while doing PLC is, what do we want each student to learn? How will we know when each student has learned it? How will we respond when a student experiences difficulty in learning? This is like what separates traditional schools to learning communities. The entire school is involved in students learning rather than just the teacher. So teachers respond to students who are having a difficult time in a learning matter. What? The teachers respond to students who are having a difficult time learning. First, time is very important. Teachers respond fast to those students who are struggling with learning. And there is also, second, there's intervention rather than remediation. The schools help students who are struggling immediately rather than giving them like summer school or detention or remedial courses in the future. And it's directive. Students are required to get extra help instead of asking them if they want to receive it. So for example, there's Stevenson High School in Illinois. Students get a progress report every 3 weeks. If they are not doing well, they are giving immediate intervention so they can get the extra help. Other students who are passing the class can help them by tutoring. Also, the counselors get involved and check on students who are not doing well. They check up on students weekly to make sure that they are learning and they're not falling behind. If students are still having a difficult time, they are sent to study hall with 10 students or less. Students, parents, counselor, and the classroom teacher have a meeting to clarify what each individual is doing to help the student succeed. They also sign a contract to make sure this actually happens. This school has over 4,000 students, and each struggling student has been able to receive the extra help and succeed.
The next big idea is a culture of collaboration. The idea behind culture of collaboration is that professional learning communities recognize the need to collaborate in order to achieve learning for all. However, many teachers still prefer to work in isolation, which is a reason why PLC communities has not been effective. In order for PLC to be effective, schools, teachers, and staff must work in teams. They must manage in an ongoing cycle of questions that promote deep team learning, which in result will lead to higher levels of student achievement. An example of collaborating for school improvement in action and successfully working is at Bones Mill Elementary, which is a K-5 elementary school serving 400 students. At this elementary school, all 5 third grade teachers work together to study and identify essential knowledge and skills that all students should learn in upcoming units. In addition, 4th grade teachers are asked for their input on what they hope 3rd graders achieve by the time they leave 3rd grade. Following the information, 3rd grade teams agree on the outcomes for each student during their unit. Teachers set standards for each skill or concept that each student must achieve to be proficient. They agree on criteria that will help them judge the quality of students' work, and finally decide how to administer assessments. They also discuss how they can build on the strengths and address the weaknesses of students' learning. Additionally, they use formative assessments. They ask the question, are students learning what they need to learn? Instead of summative assessments, which asks the questions of which students learned what was intended and which student did not. Also, collaborative conversation is effective because it gives every teacher someone to turn and talk to by making goals, strategies, concerns, and much more public. And in order for this to work, for meaningful collaboration to be successful, schools must ensure that everyone belongs to a team that focuses on student learning, not just teaching. Schools must also stop pretending that teachers presented with state standards or curriculum guides will result in students having access to common curriculum. Lastly, conversations must move from what are we expected to teach to how will we know when each student has learned. Failure to collaborate is not an excuse.
Big idea number 3 is a focus on results. Professional learning communities judge their effectiveness on the basis of results. Every teacher team participates in an ongoing process of identifying the current level of student achievement, establishing a goal to improve the current level, working together to achieve that goal, and providing periodic evidence of progress. The results-oriented professional learning community not only welcomes data, but also turns it into useful and relevant information for staff. Data will become a catalyst for improved teacher practice only if the teacher has the basis of comparison. For example, in Freeport Intermediate School, it attributes its success to an unrelenting focus on results. The teachers in the school work in collaborative teams for 90 minutes daily to clarify and discuss the essential outcomes of their grade levels and courses. Their mission is to align those outcomes with the state standards. The staff also develops consistent instructional calendars and administers the same assessment to all students at the same grade level at the end of each instructional unit, which is roughly once a week. This school has been transformed from one of the lowest performing schools in the state to a national model for achievement. This PLC model requires hard work and commitment. Educators must begin to embrace data as a useful indicator of process. They must stop disregarding or excusing unfavorable data and honestly confront the facts. They must stop using averages to analyze student performance and begin to focus on the success of each student. Initiating and sustaining the concept of professional learning community model requires hard work and commitment. It requires the school staff to focus on learning rather than on teaching. Work collaboratively and hold itself accountable for the kind of results that fuel continual improvement. The rise or fall of the PLC relies on the commitment and persistence of the educators within it.
So in summary, when everyone is involved with the students' learning, they tend to be more successful.
The best hope for improving schools is to focus on developing the capacity of people within the school.
The biggest obstacle for schools is becoming a professional learning community is overcoming traditional ideas. For example, hiring heroic individual teachers.
There are over 150 schools using the PLC model.
Sanger School Districts was one of the first districts to go into program improvement.
And the program believes in no blaming the kid. Instead, what can we as educators do? And that's it.